Welcome to this prediction video on the upcoming UFC Fight Night, Hill versus Rountree Jr. Going straight into the main event, looking at who I think will win and why. So getting straight into it. So Hill TKO'd in his last two fights, lost against Prohaska in his last fight, and then lost against Pereira for in the title fight that we all saw. Two big damaging fights. Cleanly got knocked out in the Pereira fight, and then some ground and pound afterwards. And Prohaska, there was ground and pound. It didn't look great. Big shots taken as well, and a more prolonged damage over that fight. Coming back after 5 months out, that's sort of quite worrying. Quite a short amount of time, I would think, to get back in there after the Prohaska fight. Rountree obviously coming in, did well against Pereira early rounds, had to try and go for it and try and get something on Pereira early to try and win that over 5 rounds. Couldn't, and then we sort of knew Pereira would go on and Rountree would start not have the stamina to get through the rounds, and Pereira would start putting stuff on him, and he did, and won the fight quite easily after that. But look, Rountree realised what he had to try and do. He did it well enough to he had to try and mix it up compared to what other fighters had tried to do against Pereira beforehand. Because Rountree understood that, look, there's no way in a standard 5-round fight, and we're trying to get to 5 rounds. We're trying to fight the whole thing quite even. I'm going to win it. I've got to go out there in 1-2 rounds and use my stamina for the whole fight to try and get this done early, to try and throw him off in some sort of way, which, look, it didn't come off, but it did show a bit of heart from him. It did show he wanted to try and get punches on him, try and get a finish, which, is a great sign, especially for this upcoming fight. Rountree, I think, he's shorter than the other guys at light heavyweight, but I think he's got the ability to get in the inside. He did against Pereira quite well at points. And I do think Hill's going to be quite restricted. He's going to be wanting to keep them hands up, wanting to not throw stuff out there after suffering 2 defeats and 2 TKO KOs in his last fight, in his last 2 fights. So I think much more tentative this fight. I think he knows what Rountree brings to burst in and get shots off. But in being tentative, he's actually going to allow that inside work to be done a lot easier early. And I think that's the problem. I think Rowntree's going to more split his stamina up. He's not looking to finish it within 1-2 rounds like he did Pereira. He's going to go in, look, I'm trying to win the fight over these 5. He doesn't need to as much, I don't think, in this fight. I think Rowntree's going to start winning it early. He's going to get punched off on the inside, get Hill stunned, even knocked down round 2, I would say, round 1-2. I don't think he gets a finish. I think Hill's height and length after he's been hit can help him clinch up or stay safe and keep Rountree at range more. But I do think Rountree gets a finish in this fight. I think Rowntree's going to get on the inside still. Once Hill's hurt, that's going to be a problem. You're going to start causing yourself problems trying to keep him at range. And look, we're not talking about cuts, suddenly cut near the eye, stuff like that. After few Rountree punches, it's tough to keep people at range once your eye's got a cut above it. There's just so many problems to deal with on that sense as well. And that's really Hill's only game plan to win this, is to keep Rountree at range, snipe, use the jab, 1-2, move, don't let him in range. And when he does try to punish him for it, with straight shots down the middle, and if he really does get in range, an uppercut timed inside. So I think it's going to be very tough for Hill to do that. I think Rowntree's going to go out there, try and get something on him early to make him tentative, make him think about the other fights he's had where he's been KO'd, TKO'd, and make him a lot more tentative in that fight. I think early Hill's going for it, but as soon as he starts taking punches, I think you see a change in going, I need to defend myself, I can't take these punches. and it just allows Rountree to start teeing off a bit more on the inside, getting knockdowns. Round 4 or 5, I say. Round 3, 4. I say that's sort of the timing I've got for a KO. I say round 4. I think there's a few, at least a few, Hill getting knocked down by Rountree before the final KO. I think it's over a few rounds where you start seeing, well, he's getting hurt, he's getting big punches, he may not get knocked down, but you go, well, that hurt him big time, and suddenly then the last shots in the 4th round. I think Hill needs time. I think he's come back too short notice. We don't know what the chin is like, only 5 months after a defeat like that against Prohaska. Tough fight. And then Rountree, he got beaten. It was tough against Pereira, but to be honest, I fancy him to go out there and fight. And this is really going to be a less technical fight. And who do I think wins in a less technical fight? Who's got the better? I hit you. I'm going to try and go forward. It's Rountree out of the two of them. And I think Hill's got to go away. He's got to relearn himself, get back to the jab, the range, being less sensitive to actually throw punches out to keep people at range as well. I think that's very key. And he's got to learn, once people are inside, that's pretty much it. And that's always getting stunned and knocked out. And Rountree, maybe if Hill had not lost his last fight and sort of didn't get knocked out, I'd probably go maybe a bit more. It would be more 50-50. But I think with that, coming back after 5 months, getting KO'd in the last 2 fights, I think Rowntree's going to get it just from the tentativeness of Hill. Rountree style will be so thankful of that tentativeness, not to jab out, not to strike at range, to try and keep him away. And it just allows Rountree a lot easier night to get on the inside. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.